On this week's show, James from iHeartInfinity is here to talk about all things Disney Infinity. All this and more in episode 123 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Do you like Disney as much as we like Disney? Of course you do. Well, if you do, you should head on over to MediaMeltdownPodcast.com. Bi-weekly podcast about all things Disney. Disney news, rumors, theme parks, and movies. Anything you want Disney, you can find it there. Head over to MediaMeltdownPodcast.com and look for the Mousecast. Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Infinity, episode number 123, recorded February 10th, 2016. Finally getting that date right. You know, it's how can you run a podcast and not even know what year it is? I'd like to welcome everyone to this week's show. As always, I'm one of your three hosts this evening, Will Kelly. Joining me, very special guest tonight, Mr. James Griselli from iHeartInfinity. James, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
How are you doing, buddy? You excited to be on the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been watching you guys for a while now, so it's good to be on here.
Well, it's awesome to have you here, man. We've been trying to set this up for, a couple weeks. I think we started this conversation maybe even before Christmas or around there. You're one of the regular people who always pops in to the Twitch chat, whether we're streaming Disney Infinity or on the Res Network. You're always there supporting us, so it's super awesome to have you on tonight. Honestly, and I mean this for everyone who is our Twitch regulars, it's like you all become friends of ours. And so I was jazzed to have you on tonight's show because it's like, hey, we get to converse outside of just Twitch chat, which is super fun.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, that other silent person that if you're listening to the podcast, you don't know he's here yet because he hasn't made any witty comments, Mr. Lloyd Hannison. Lloyd, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, Will. I was gonna give you the gears like I usually do, but I thought I don't know, I'd put that on the shelf for an episode, see how that goes. Yeah, man, I'm doing great. We just recorded a D-Res podcast talking about all the games we've been playing, so I'm running a little bit of an adrenaline high right now. So this is gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, we're on a podcasting high. For anyone who doesn't know, the Inside Infinity podcast and Disney Infinity TV is part of the Res.TV network. You might have saw our title intro there. We do all sorts of podcasts, including this one. So make sure you go check out Res.TV to find all of our media content, video game, movies, comics, and news. Anything's over there. So yeah, go check out what Lloyd and I have been playing lately. That's what this week's D-Res was about.
Lots of stuff to talk about too, so it was a great show. So yeah, do check that out. D-Res episode 40 if you're looking for the particular episode. That'll be up in if you're watching this live, it'll be up in a day or so. If you're not, could have been up for a month already. Who knows? The internet's a weird thing sometimes.
And this week's episode was evergreen content, so it's all good.
Exactly.
I'd like to say hello to all of our friends in the chat. We have Justin's in there. Cindy, how's it going? Gold Star, good seeing you. James, you're in there as well, obviously. Constantine, awesome name. Tad, what's up? Jay, Taylor Lynn, and the fantastic Paul. That is fantastic. So I'd like to welcome everyone who is watching us live. We really appreciate it. You can find us twitch.tv/Disney Infinity TV. If you're listening to us after the fact, we really appreciate that as well. With that, guys, that's kind of all of the intro stuff out of the way. What do you think? What do you say we get this thing started?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, to start things off, James, I want you to tell us a little bit about you, kind of your spot in the Infinity community, and what kind of. So first, tell us those couple things, and then we have a few more fun questions for you.
Sure. So I work on the iHeartInfinity YouTube channel primarily. I do post a little bit to the website, but it's mostly just directing people over to YouTube. Other than that, we've been working on getting character reviews up. I know you guys have some of those as well. We did some guides for holocrons and character pieces, stuff like that. But I'm more of like the public face of iHeart, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was over at D23 last year and hoping to get involved with the community a bit more.
Yeah, so I have iHeartInfinity up on screen here. So the first thing I got to say, and it's almost a surprise every time I go to the site. And this isn't a dig on anyone else's site, but you guys seriously have one of the fanciest Infinity sites out there. Right now, I'm pulling up some of your Force Awakens YouTube videos. And you do some amazing walkthroughs. Here's a crossover coins and Rise Against the Empire. I gotta commend you, man, because these videos, it's some work, especially these walkthrough videos. So it's awesome work, and it's stuff that's needed for the community. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. They're actually a lot of fun to work on, and a lot of it is trial and error because we don't have guides to work off when we're making them, so it can be a little challenging sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so what's kind of your process when it comes to, so sometimes you have guides that can help guide you, no pun intended, but then other times you're just constantly recording, and so that way if you stumble across stuff, you will have it recorded and ready to go for YouTube?
Pretty much, yeah. We record it all the time, and then I'll see like a crossover coin, and I'll be like, okay, there's the coin. I have to go back to the beginning of the level and trace how to get to it so I can do it for the guide, and same for the holocrons and everything like that. So it's a different style of gameplay.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I guess the holocrons would be even worse, right? Because there's just so many of those in the game.
Oh yeah, and the worst one was Rise Against the Empire. There's one where you're flying through the asteroid, you're about to get eaten by the worms, and it just appears, and I'm like, oh, I better record that real fast.
So there's times where you're just like, screw it, we just gotta deliver it the way it happened.
Right, and I gotta edit around it, so that's always fun.
That's fun, man. Well, it's funny, and you really do a great job. It's not easy to just create YouTube content and make it compelling. I mean, anyone can kind of make a walkthrough video, but to actually not only stick with it, but and granted, I know it's part of the iHeartInfinity site, but just making it interesting and continuing that effort once you start it's just takes a lot of work.
I think a lot of success is just keep on moving, right? Most people stop, so.
Totally. Lloyd, I mean, you're shaking your head. This is something that we've all dabbled in a little bit, right? But
yeah, there's not enough time in the day to do that stuff. I look at all the YouTube channels that I follow, and it's just unbelievable. Like when I do a video, I record it and then I upload it, and it's like, oh, that was so much work. No, that wasn't any work at all. It's the editing and the writing it out and transcoding and all that crazy stuff. That's what takes the time, and I'm just in awe of everybody that can do that and put up so many great videos, because I can't. I'd love to. I can't. So my hats off to you, James.
So I don't know, not to put words in your mouth, but for me, a big reason that Lloyd and I do this show, and we've continued to do this show for so long, is that community interaction. You have these people that either maybe you've met in person, or maybe you've never met in person, but you still have these either daily or weekly or semi-frequent conversations online, because we're all part of this community that, it helps me get through kind of these lulls. Right now we don't have that much to talk about in the news, but here you are on the show, and I have tons of stuff to kind of mention just from the conversations I've had online over the last couple weeks, even though we don't have much news. And do you find just being a part of the community as something that kind of motivates you and pushes you forward?
It does, actually, especially since I'm pretty new to the community. I met some people at D23, but nobody knew who I was, which is fine. I was brand new at the time.
But everyone knew iHeartInfinity, right?
Right. I think most people knew iHeart.
Yeah, well, we talked at D23, and I think I even remember saying to you that, oh, yeah, I had a few conversations with, his name's Will as well, over in the UK, but you're kind of the US representative, huh?
I think so now, yeah. Because he's actually in Hong Kong right now, or somewhere in one of those Asian places, and he just doesn't have the time to do any of this at the moment. He will eventually, but right now, not so much.
Cool. I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off though, but you're saying it. I kind of feel like you've made a name for yourself in the kind of semi-short amount of time you've been really as an active member of the community.
Uh, well, I appreciate you saying that. Sometimes I feel like I'm still working at it, but I think the community is so tight knit that, if you can at least make some connections, then the rest of the connections follow in.
Totally, totally. Yep, absolutely agree with that. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for the work you do for the community, and thanks for being on the show. Lloyd and I, we do have some questions for you. It's kind of, we always like to ask people who come on this show, what is it about Infinity, and kind of how did either your involvement with iHeartInfinity come about, or your just involvement or interest in the game come from, and how long have you been kind of involved in the game?
Well, I picked up the game the day it came out, Infinity 1.0. Just got the starter set, didn't get any of the extra figures, but it kind of snowballed from there. My interest, I've loved Disney my entire life. I remember going to my grandma's place and watching Lady and the Tramp and Mary Poppins and all these movies and so forth. And then when 2.0, Marvel, as you can see behind me, huge comics nerd here,
Yeah.
so they had me from there. And then Star Wars. I mean, those are my three biggest nerd areas of expertise, I guess. So yeah, I mean, it's a game made for me.
That's awesome. How did you become involved with iHeartInfinity?
It was just good timing. I was starting to get involved in the community, and at the same time, Will, the other Will, was advertising for people to help with the site. I said, "Sure, I'll help out," and it just went from there. This was right before D23,
Cool. And here we are,
and here we are.
episode 123 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Well, awesome, buddy. Lloyd, do you have anything, any questions or anything?
Just kind of the standard, like, what is your favorite character in the game currently, and which one do you wish you could play with right now?
My favorite one in the game right now, I would have to say Rocket Raccoon, just because I love Rocket in general. He's one of my favorite characters. Most of the Star Wars characters are fantastic though,
Yeah.
too. So the character that I most want in the game, my default answer is Darkwing Duck, because I know there's always a chance we could get him in there.
Yeah.
But I think even more than Darkwing, I'd want the gargoyles from the animated show. Goliath, Hudson, those guys.
How
Yeah.
cool of figures would they be?
They would be awesome.
When I was playing Lego Marvel Avengers, there's a Marvel character called Fin Fang Foom, and you can grow him and then fly around the city, and it looks so much like gargoyles, and I'm like, oh my god, I want a gargoyles game. I want gargoyles in Disney Infinity. I want more gargoyle stuff. It's been such a long time since I've been able to immerse myself in that franchise. So hopefully we have more gargoyles coming in the near future in some form.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that is not generally when I think of Disney Afternoon, I don't think of gargoyles, but I think that they should just do a Disney Afternoon playset, and since they own all that stuff, throw
So good.
Darkwing, the Rangers, what were their names? I can't think of.
Rescue Rangers.
Rescue Rangers, yep. Tailspin, gargoyles, and who cares if it doesn't make a toy box of playset with Disney Afternoon.
You know what? Speaking of Tailspin, since we have the unconfirmed still Baloo figure coming out, they could always make a power disc, give him his pilot's outfit. That would be awesome.
I would kill for that. Not
That'd be
really,
great.
but I would love it.
I don't know. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Yeah, I already did that about eating a hat that I never followed through with a Sandy Claus power disc. So, still eating my words there. Those are I like that Goliath or gargoyles. That's good. Well, cool, buddy. Well, yeah, we're gonna be talking with you for the next little bit here as we get through the show. But you also are doing something pretty awesome, and you have a giveaway towards the end of the show as well. That's super cool of you. But now let's get to the news section of the show. So there's, like I've mentioned, there's not a whole lot going on in the world of Infinity these days. This first news item is coming at you from Infinity Inquirer, and it's, you know what, honestly, it's stuff that we've been talking about, I think, the last 3 weeks. So it's more or less an update. Last week we we kind of opined on the idea of, did Disney listen to all the fan negative feedback, and did they officially change the price point of single figure play sets? And so Target and Toys R Us has followed Best Buy, and at least here in the States, we're going to talk about this, but here in the States has followed Best Buy and Amazon, and they are providing this playset $20 as well. Now, James, we kind of talked via Twitter and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on this whole kind of big community kind of, not outrage, but emotional response?
The emotional response, and we're talking about the Civil War or the Captain America single pack.
Yeah, the Captain America single pack, it being a variant, and its $35 price point. Or $30 price point.
$30.
Yeah.
I generally have to go with the majority of the community on this. I have no problem with Captain America being a new figure or being a variant figure. I don't think it should be the pack-in figure, because we do have another Captain America option, and he was a pack-in in the previous one as well. I think the bigger issue is they're knocking $5 off the price, but taking away a $15 value or $10 to $15 value. And I know why they're doing it. I mean, shelf space, and it's easier for them to package things up that way. But I think if they were going to do that, they really needed to sell it better, marketing wise. They needed to convince us that this is the right thing for Disney Infinity to be doing. And they kind of got put on the spot because it got released before they wanted it to, and I don't think they had a properly prepared response. But what we've heard hasn't really justified it.
Totally agree. Do you think that... Well, okay, so did this $20 price point, at least for this example, has it kind of repaired some of that? Not damage, because I don't think it was long lasting, but provide a little bit more, I don't know, sincerity to the deal?
It definitely takes away some of the sting. Having it at that better price point, still getting Cap, and still having the 2.0 figure as a giveaway, at least here in the States, it helps to kind of mitigate that a bit. But do we know how much of that was Disney coming down on the retailers and saying, try dropping the price a bit, and how much of it was the retailers reacting to this and going that direction?
Yeah, it's all speculation, I think, at this point on which direction did that come from. So yeah, but this, I think, is actually a good opportunity to send it your way, Lloyd, because there's something that you wanted to talk about that I think is very important with this topic.
Yeah, it's this whole $20 price point thing is a little bit disappointing. I mean, it's great. It's disappointing to me personally because I'm a Canadian. There's no retailers in Canada that are matching that price. In fact, if you go to Amazon.ca, it's $38 instead of $35, where everywhere else has it at $35 Canadian, which makes it even harder. Like I was contemplating like ordering it online, buying it from the States, and getting it shipped up, and Amazon.com, buying that, then paying duty and shipping and then exchange. It's still like $45. So we're getting kind of left out in the cold, because it's cold up here. On Disney stuff, like it's already light effects are impossible to find up here. I was only able to find 3 figures. The one at Best Buy, I ordered one from Amazon, and I got one from Walmart. It doesn't seem like any of the other one, or no, sorry, I got one at Toys R Us, Walmart, and Best Buy. It doesn't seem like there's any other light effects figures up here. So they came out later up here. We only got a handful of them. It's tough. It really is tough when we're not that far away from the US. And I don't know if it's because of the crazy exchange. So maybe it's our retailers opting out of a lot of different products just because if they want to sell them, they want to make money. I don't know what that deal is, but it is really tough when especially when I host a show on the game and half the product doesn't even come out up here, it makes it very difficult to talk about it from any sort of authority point.
Yeah.
So really disappointing. There's still time, so you never know. But right now I looked at walmart.ca, bestbuy.ca, amazon.ca, looked at EB Games up here, and everybody has it for $35 or more, depending on which site it is. So really disappointing. I don't know if $35 is something that I'm going to want to pay for this, for one figure and a play set, when it's $20 like a couple hours drive away from me. But then again, the dollar stinks. So even doing that exchange, it's not even worth the gas money to get out there.
Yeah, and I guess that leads me to kind of my next question is this $20 indicative of a permanent price drop if from this point forward all of our play sets are going to be single player play sets? And so I guess that's question one. Do we think that's going to be the case? And then question two is the situation that you're experiencing up there in Canada, Lloyd, is that kind of for or against that, that being the possibility? Because to me, it kind of makes it's a negative mark on that argument, because if it's not somewhat of a universal price decrease, then it seems more on the retailer side, whether they were pushed by Disney or not, versus an official markdown.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really, really tough to say what it's going to be. It doesn't surprise me that our prices haven't changed at all. Sometimes price changes are a little bit slow up here, like especially for pre-release products. So maybe closer to launch, maybe it'll drop, but I doubt it. I'm going to go to Toys R Us hopefully this weekend and talk to someone like a flesh and blood person, not an email or a website, and see if there's any idea whether this price drop is happening up here, and maybe just websites haven't been updated. But so far it's not looking good. And if it hasn't changed, then the likelihood of future playsets being $20 seems pretty unlikely.
James, do you think this single figure playset is something they're trying? Is it something that just makes sense in the Battleground playset type, or do you think that this could be the potential direction that Disney Infinity's heading? Lloyd, are you getting his audio?
No, I think you're muted.
How about now?
There we go.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I think it's interesting that they're starting this on the Battlegrounds playset, because that's supposed to be the multiplayer playset, and you're only going to have the one figure plus whatever you started with. But if you got 3.0 as your first, then you don't have any Marvel characters unless you've gone out and bought them. But I do think that this is what we're going to see. We're probably going to see it stay at $30. It's going to be on the retailers to incentivize it.
Mm.
And I think anything we see from here, any future playsets, are probably going to be single figure, $30, maybe with a bonus offer when they come out.
Would you agree with that, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we don't think this is a test. We think that this is kind of their first outing, and this mid release cycle is a good way of them kind of saying, hey, this is something new we're doing, but it's not going to be as big of a shock when the next version is released. So we're just doing it mid 4.0 or 3.0. I think I agree with you though, James. I think it's super funny that this is the one they chose to do that with, because I feel like this playset above any other playset, yes, they've all been co-op, local co-op, but this is nothing but a multiplayer. Technically, it's not. You can play it single player, but it's built for multiplayer combat. And the fact that a parent can't go out and buy, if they didn't know about the pre-order bonus, they can't just go out and buy this playset, and all they've gotten up to this point is 3.0 and Star Wars, and now their kids are only going to have one character to play with. I don't. It's just super funny to me. I can imagine these conversations in the back rooms. How do you? I'm not saying this is a incorrect decision, but how do you get to this point. Like all the different ins and outs that has to happen before you finalize on something like this.
I can imagine the arguments that happen in the backroom meeting rooms. But like from a marketing standpoint, from a PR standpoint, this is like the next Street Fighter coming out with just Ryu, and then having to go buy all the figures separately, or all the characters separately. Like that's a tough sell for an industry that always knows a fighting game to be a game that comes with at least 8 fighters, and there you go. And this is a fighter that comes with one character that you can play as. So I'm sure there was a lot of like PR hair being ripped out from these arguments that were going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. But yeah, it's if future play sets come out and they're only $20 and they're more plentiful in 4.0, and this is kind of the start of, hey, let's dip our toe in the water and see what people's thoughts and feelings are for a $20 play set with one figure. To me, that would be perfect. But with the amount of development that goes into these things, I don't think that would be the price point, unless it came without a figure. They would sell the playset for $20 bare, and then you could pick up whatever figures you want.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's news item number 1. Let's talk about our second news item here. This is coming at you from DizKingdom.com, and it basically is just an update on the Kingdom Hearts Ultimate Unlock. Someone tweeted at JV, "Are Nick and Judy," it's here in the tweet here, "are Nick and Judy the last 2 figures to unlock the Ultimate Unlock, the key sword?" JV responds, "No, the launch characters for Battlegrounds are required." So that's super interesting. James, I want to throw it your way first. You have thoughts on this?
Well, so we know that it's going to require at least the Battlegrounds figures, meaning Zootopia is also in there. But the wording of it suggests that it's not just the Battlegrounds characters. Like we already know Peter Pan has been announced, so that might be included. It also says the launch characters, which might imply there's additional characters down the road, and those might be required. Or if they had launched some more Star Wars characters, those might be part of it too. So basically it's just saying, yeah, it's still out there, but you're going to have to wait even longer for it.
So, to play devil's advocate, I'm sorry, Lord, were you about to say something?
I was just going to comment on something else, but I'll let you go.
To play devil's advocate, if it wasn't just the launch characters of Battlegrounds, do you think he would say, no, you need the remaining characters? Or do you think he worded it the way he did just so there wouldn't be rampant speculation about unannounced new figures? Do you see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't say, no, you need launch. Like, he doesn't say the final characters you need are launch characters. And so that's where it's kind of vague. But he does, at the same time, specify these launch characters. So I'm just throwing it out there.
It's one of those things where I'm kind of wondering if they've even decided where the unlock is going to come from. The phrasing suggests to me that they're kind of like, maybe we'll do it with the launch figures, or maybe we need to do another meeting over here and decide if we want to wait till Peter Pan comes out. And they might be waiting on Disney to actually say, this is what's going on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because actually, you know what, Matt Master in the chat is saying, he not specifically about this, but he's also mentioning Boba Fett. And Boba Fett's a huge segment of the Infinity population does not have Boba Fett yet, but he doesn't say, no, you need the launch characters of Boba Fett. So, yeah, I guess that adds credence to that possibility.
On top of Boba Fett, there's the question of, do you need Black Suit Spider-Man? Because he's been out since 2.0, but we are getting an individual release now because he was originally PS Vita exclusive. I'm assuming probably not.
Yeah.
But could be.
Yeah, it's a little hard to say. I've I'm trying to find web pages because I know this has been talked about before, but I can remember a quote, and whether it was from JV or whether it was from Disney or whether it was just people that were at D23 or some PR person, but I seem to remember them saying that you'd be able to get the Ultimate Unlock with all the figures that came out in 2015, that you wouldn't need anything past that. I can't find anything for that quote again, so maybe that was just a misquote. But they say at D23, I see other, like the Game Informer article says you'll need all figures in 3.0. It's like, okay, well, is that all figures that are on the disc? So does that mean the Keyblade is on the disc, or is this all figures, meaning that this Keyblade was always meant to be patched in at a later point, meaning that you probably need every single figure that will ever come out in 3.0 to get the Keyblade. So I wish we could get some confirmation whether it's on the disc already and whether figures on the disc will unlock it. But I guess JV's already come out and said, no, you need the Battlegrounds characters, which definitely aren't on the disc right now. Little confusing. I wish it was a little bit clearer, but they probably don't want to come out and say it either because they know people are going to jump all over them.
Yeah.
But in every other version, it's been you need every single figure, not just ones that came out in a certain time period. So it wouldn't surprise me, and it wouldn't be a huge shock to anybody, I hope, if you did need every single figure for 3.0.
Totally. Yeah, all I can think of is thank goodness for the kind of new patching model that because now they're adding content where they've never really, I guess they've done that lightly here and there, but it's mostly been patching bugs or fixing stuff in there.
Giving you the glider and the identity disc to use as weapons and packs was kind of the first real patched content that we've gotten. So this is definitely new, having a whole playset patched in after the fact.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's still exciting for the possibility of things to come.
Definitely.
Awesome. Anything else on that topic, guys, before we move on here? No? All right. Just want to mention one last thing. James, you were a part of this. Lloyd, you and I were a part of this, as well as Lim, a.k.a. Bad Gamer. The Infinifan Awards social show happened I believe it was last Saturday, correct? Yes, Saturday.
Yes.
And so I'm bringing up infinifanawards.com is the website. And you can go here. There's a thank you from Chris over at Disneyholics, who's the person responsible for setting all of this up. All of the announcements, as well as some interesting data, is there as well. So if you're just interested in kind of what the votes were, what they tallied up to, the percentage, who the presenters are, and checking out their announcement tweets or videos or blog posts, please head over there. This was a really cool event. It brought kind of the entire community together. Chris and I were talking this week, and actually next week's show of the Inside Infinity podcast is going to be a special show dedicated just to discussing the Infinifan Awards and kind of going over. In fact, I think no, it wasn't iHeartInfinity. It was Infiniteers. I saw put up a video talking a little bit about this, but Chris is just saying that there's a lot of interesting data. For example, James, you said kind of a fan favorite figure that you would like, Darkwing Duck, and this was one that we actually happened to announce, and I couldn't believe it, but by only a very small margin, Indiana Jones beat out Darkwing Duck, and lots of things to be gleaned from some of these statistics. That it's going to be a fun conversation. Did you have something you wanted to add to that, James?
No, I was very surprised by Indiana Jones too.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, I think you guys will talk about it next week, but I think the biggest surprise was how high on the list King Mickey's Power Disc was, considering probably most of the people who voted on it have never had a chance to play with it.
Yep. I guess that's just a testament to how insanely popular that item was, and because it was the here I'm bringing it up on screen, the best Disney Power Disc. So that's what it won.
It won
200
overall power. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, it won the best overall Power Disc. That was one of the ones that we did.
Oh, okay. So not just Disney Power Disc, but overall as well.
Oh yeah, and by a mile. It wasn't even close.
That's crazy. That's just insane to me.
I think that means that this vote from all the people is the disc that I most would want to have in my collection, not the one that I like the most from having played with it, which is a little bit disappointing because I'd love to play with it as well.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back on screen. So this is super funny. It won Best Disney Power Disc. It won Best Costume Disc, and then it won, like you said, the Best Overall Power Disc. So yeah, this is insanely desired. I still think that they should come out with that. What do you think, James? Do you think that a lot of people are upset at D23?
Honestly, I think they probably do need to come out with it, or some variant of it, so that they don't annoy the people who do have the original one, but so everybody can play with it, because Kingdom Hearts is such a popular franchise, and the third one's coming out. I don't know when, but soon-ish.
Yeah. Yep. I still half expect there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts tie-in with 4.0, but that's just my tinfoil hat. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to tip my hat to Chris over there for setting it up, and all the presenters, all the community coming together. This was a super cool thing, and it was intended to be kind of a communal thing, not a Disneyholics branded thing. That's why he set up this website, and I think that it fired on all cylinders. He has some great ideas for next year, and he wants to talk about some of these statistics. So he's going to be on next week, and so stay tuned for that. All right, that's kind of it, guys. That's all we have. There's a few kind of housekeeping items here, but I think it's time for us to go back to our hashtag Ask Inside Disney Infinity quiz section of the show. Come on, people, you need to send us those quiz questions. We need some trivia questions, and then at least 3 multiple choice answers. If you don't have the space to do that, you don't have to. You can tweet us at these you could tweet these trivia questions out to us, or you can email us at resd@gmail.com. Or Lloyd, if you don't mind me taking it, borrowing it for a little bit, you can call our Resd voicemail hotline, and that's area code 505-847-6322. You can leave a voicemail there. You can ask us anything you want, give us feedback of the show, or give us some trivia questions that we can play live on air. So normal rates apply for that. But James, you've been so kind to provide a trivia question for us this week, as well as a trivia prize. So why don't you show it up on screen for people out on internet land. So you want to tell us the story about this? Because it was kind of funny, and I liked it.
It is actually funny. So I pre-ordered Battlegrounds from Best Buy when they first put it up, and I already have all the 2.0 figures, so I just kind of picked a character I liked that was available, and in this case it was Iron Fist. And even though the game doesn't actually come out for more than a month, they decided to actually just send me the figure, the bonus figure, and it's like, okay. So I have Iron Fist, and unfortunately they packaged it very poorly, and it's all bent on top, so it's not a collectible. Let's put it that way.
It would be perfect though, especially if you already have Iron Fist, you could just rip them out and throw them on your desk at work or school or something, and take them with you. So that's cool, man. Well, thanks for doing that. And I guess a pro tip is, if you want an additional Marvel figure early, go ahead and order it now, because they might send it to you in a crumpled package. I think the way we're going to do this tonight, James, we talked about this, but you have a quiz question or a trivia question that neither Lloyd or I know, but it's actually for the chat. So Lloyd and I, there's a little bit of a delay, but we will hold off on answering the question if we think we know the answer until we see some answers come across the Twitch. So whoever is the first person on Twitch to answer the question correctly, and James, you can let us know if you see the correct answer pop up, and that will be the winner. So take it away, James.
All right. So the trivia question for Iron Fist is, who is Iron Fist's traditional comrade in the comics?
What's his name?
Either the code name or his regular name, because he goes by both.
So is this kind of like his? Do you have? Well, people will.
I see it in the chat now.
He doesn't
I,
count.
I knew he was going to get it. I knew Lem was going to be the get it.
Lem, friends and family of Disney Infinity TV or the Reds TV network are not allowed. Oh, is that the right answer?
It is. It's Power Man, Luke Cage.
All right.
They, in the 80s, they were in a comic together called Power Man and Iron Fist, and it's considered one of the classic runs of the 80s. So,
only thing that was popping in my head was Power Fist. Yeah, Power Fist. No, Iron Fist. Oh, wait, that's the character. What's his name? Yeah.
It's like Power Man Fist. All right. Well, someone else needs to answer it. Copy and paste that from Lim because he's not winning it.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone actually answer it yet other than him.
Well, as we're waiting for that, that's great. Lam, you're hilarious. You should know this by now. We're going to chastise you later. Please send us your Ask IDI questions. We have some codes to give away for some additional. Not to steal your thunder here, James, because your giveaway is super awesome and better than ours. But we have some codes to give away for the. I'm blanking on it right now. The toy box at the Cantina in Disney World. Do you know what I'm saying? So all right, Cindy wins. No, Gold Star wins. No, Tad wins.
Infinifan 80 wins.
Infinifan 80 wins. All right, cool. We'll make sure that you guys can connect so we can get that shipped off to you, Tad. That's awesome, James. Really, thank you for doing that. I don't know about you guys, but I have a few multiple figures that are some of my favorites, and Iron Fist is one of those that was a crowd favorite. Even for people I think like Lloyd and I, who I wasn't very familiar with Iron Fist personally before the game came out. So, so I was referring to the Star Wars launch bay at Disney World. So you go there and you get the special downloadable codes for special toy boxes that you can only get through there. And I know, I guess you could get some of those from the Disney Infinity Reddit page. But we have some codes to give away. So send us your trivia questions. You can tweet it, #AskIDI, or you can email us, res@gmail, or call that number, or just DM us. So we'll pick some trivia questions. That's kind of fun. And all right, James. So now, since Lloyd was closer to answering that question than I was, we have a running tally here. So I'm going to give Lloyd 2 points because he did better than me. James, as a guest and as the supplier of the trivia question and the provider of the figure, I'm giving you 150 points. Which surpasses the previous leader, which was me at 100 points, and I'm taking away a point. So now I'm sitting at 99. And Jason's still at 0, and Lim gets actually negative 99 because he answered the dumb question, or the great question, but he was the dummy that answered. So it's kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the points are made up or the show's made up and the points don't matter. That's exactly how it is. But outside of James, Lloyd, you're in the winning. You're winning right now. So
awesome. Sounds good.
Did you see my SDI question that I put in the chat room, Will?
No, what was it?
It's kind of a yes or no question, so I don't think it really works for trivia. But I really want to know this one.
Why don't you go ahead? Ask. Will we ever get a Matt the Radar Tech figure? Do you guys see someone got that tattooed on their body?
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
so great. That's amazing. That was such a great skit on Saturday Night Live. But yes, I don't know if I'd want that tattooed on me forever.
Yeah. Did you happen to see the behind the scenes, like the bloopers and stuff? Because that was even funnier.
No, I'll have to go find that. I didn't get to see that.
For those that don't know what we're talking about the SNL skit with Kylo Ren. What's his name? I can't think of his actual name right now.
They did an undercover boss with him coming as Matt the Radar Tech instead of Kylo Ren, and it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Adam played it just amazingly. He's really funny for someone that's so awkward.
Yeah,
he's actually pretty funny.
Oh, have you guys seen the I'm gonna search this and bring it up on the internet right now because hey, it's Star Wars, which means it's Disney Infinity. Did you guys see the Star Wars family photo?
Yeah. And then they changed it into How to Make a Murderer or Making a
Yeah,
Murderer,
making a
which
murder.
was even better.
Oh, here is something you don't want to search on the internet: Star Wars family photo. You will get some interesting results. All right, we're moving on now. Awesome, guys. I think that's gonna about wrap it up uh, for the week. James, I gotta thank you, buddy. This was awesome, man. Really glad to have you on the show. It's been a long time coming. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find your Twitter and your stuff that you do, and I'll try to bring it up here on screen, and we'll include in the show notes as well.
Okay. Well, you can find me at iHeartInfinity.com. And I have control sometimes over the iHeart Twitter feed, which is in I can't actually remember theirs, but my own is IHI_James. That's my Twitter, and I don't have any other social media, so
Hey, that's enough. Your YouTube is youtube.com. Is it just iHeartInfinity?
that's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Perfect. So, yeah, you're super active in the community. So everyone, please go watch the videos, go check out the website, and follow iHeartJames Infinity proper on Twitter. That's not actually it. I know you just said
No.
it. Um,
IHI_James.
okay. There you go. Well, this is great, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I hope this isn't going to be the last time we have you.
No.
This is really good. You bought a camera and everything, so now we have to get you on more to utilize. Two cameras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
No,
Man.
no, peace.
Oh.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and anytime you want me back, I'll be here.
We'll make it happen, and thanks for always keeping us company in the Twitch chat too. Not only like during the show, but just those morning streams, man. It's nice to have familiar faces in there to keep the motivation going when the coffee's not kicking in.
I hear that. Actually, one thing real fast
Yeah.
is I will be at some point in the future guest starring on Bad Gamers Breakfast Show as well. I think we're still working out the actual date.
That is a perfect segue. I'm gonna so something we do here in the show. We have morning streams, so 4 days throughout the week. We stream here, and then we stream a day over on the Res channel. Half the time is with me, half the time is with Bad Gamer Lim, and I have it here up on screen. He has been scheduling guests, so we have Mighty Jidus Lawrence jumping on there, Pirate Steve. Joseph or Joe is going to be there. Lots of people. Dan, Grinning Ezra, JB, Q it sounds like, James, we're trying to get you on there. We're trying to get Jose from the Infinity Mentors. I know that's not what they're called anymore, but so Lim's the social one. So that's awesome. We'll keep people posted, James, when he gets that scheduled with you. I know he's working it out. Lloyd, he was saying he has all the way out to June booked, which the guy's crazy.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That's when my date is. I've been pushed all the way. I've been bumped all the way till June sometime. So that'll be okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Well, we'll let people know for sure when that happens, and hopefully we have you on the show before June as well. Lloyd, where can people find you on the webs, tubes? I combined the two on the internet.
Oh, that was painful. Everybody can find me over at res.tv. That's the content network that I co-run with Will and Lem and Steve C and Steve O and a bunch of other people. We all run together and put all of our content up there. So it's a really great site. Check it out. You can check out the Nintendo Pulse, D-Res, Inside Dimensions, a whole bunch of shows over there. So please check us out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Dasme on Twitter, DASME, or you can follow us at Res TV on Twitter.
Awesome. I love that while you're talking about Res.tv, I brought it up, and we had Matthew McConaughey front and center from a Media Meltdown Mousecast show. Everyone, you probably know where you can find me. You can find our Twitter, our show Twitter up there. At Disney Infinity TV. You can also look for my Twitter at iLiam. And then make sure you're following us here. We do those morning streams and the weekly shows. So I think that's going to be it, guys. James, thanks again, buddy. This was great.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we'll have you on again real soon. Thanks everyone out there who's listening or watching. We appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed this week's show. But until next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Inside Infinity podcast. If you like what we do, please let us know. Follow us, subscribe, rate us on iTunes. You can find us on iTunes, YouTube, Twitch, all of the internet access points. We want to thank all of our patrons who James is actually one. So if you're interested in supporting the show and helping us do what we do, head over to patreon.com/DizzyInfinityTV. If you are above the $5 tier, you will see your name there posted each and every week on the live show. So we thank all of our patrons, and we thank all of you for listening and watching. Until next time, we'll talk soon.